I'm Dani. I'm 23 years old. I'm from Columbus, Ohio, and I've been in the community for about 4 years now. I encountered the community through a long journey growing up. I was very blessed, very fortunate to grow up in a good Catholic family and to have been exposed to the faith at a very early age, and to have had really good examples in my life of my mother and father. I just saw, like, growing up, I grew up in a big family. I had 7 brothers and sisters, and somewhere along the way there was just this feeling inside of me of not really knowing my place, not really knowing, I guess, my identity, and just kind of getting lost in the crowd. And so as time went on, this feeling inside of me just kept growing and growing on, kind of feeling like uncomfortable at times, and so I think it was just natural for me that at an early age I started finding ways to escape, whether it was in reading books or playing video games when I was really young, and it just went on and on. I felt out of place, and I would just try to escape. Going forward, when I was about 15 years old, I found drugs, and I felt like it was just natural. It was like what my life was leading to up until then, and I just felt like it was it was the perfect escape for me at the time. It was a way to get away from all of my problems, to just zone out the world and to find my place, and it made me forget that I was still looking for my identity, and it convinced me that I had found my identity. It convinced me that I knew who I was. It convinced me that I had security because I was using because I was drunk or because I was high, but in the end I was just more lost than I had ever been before. And this went on for a couple of years of using pretty heavily, and I tried different times to get clean, or to find a job somewhere. I tried going to school, and just everywhere that I went I still felt I still had this feeling like I didn't know who I was. In the end I was completely lost. And then when I was 18 years old, I found myself on the streets, and my family didn't want anything to do with me anymore. I mean, they wanted to help me. They wanted what was best for me, but they didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to help me, and nobody knew how to help me. And so I was very blessed at that time to have encountered the community, and when I came to the community for the first time, I was so taken aback by everybody here. At first I thought it was kind of crazy, but the one thing that stuck with me was just the smiles on everybody's faces, and the light atmosphere, how everybody was able to live in a place, not going out all the time, not having cell phones or computers or whatever, and still being able to be happy, still being able to be free with themselves and secure in themselves. And it was something that made me really, I really wanted that. So I entered community, and it was crazy the first couple months getting acclimated to the lifestyle. It was completely different from everything that the world had proposed. The world had told me that would make me happy, and here in community. We get up at 6 every morning, we pray the Rosary. We pray 3 rosaries a day. We have to be with other people, working with other people, even if we don't get along with those people. There were just all these things that I had to face, and in the end it was like I was facing myself. I was facing my own weakness. I was facing my own lack of faith, my own selfishness, my own pride at times, my own unwillingness to work with other people, to conform, to change who I was. And you know, the biggest miracle that I've experienced in community was just finding my identity, finding what I've been looking for all those years that I thought that I'd found in drugs. And I found it on my knees in front of the Eucharist. I found it in adoration in the mornings. I found it during the rosaries. I found it working with those around me, seeing God in those around me. I found it here. And I would say that's the thing that's changed my life. That's what's given me the strength to really move past the drugs, knowing who I am now, knowing my identity as a child of God, knowing that He died for me and that I don't have to be that way anymore, that I don't have to try to fill my life with all those things that are empty in the end.